Hey everybody! In today's episode, I'm going to teach you how to do a very basic French braid like this in your own hair. But I'm going to do it a little bit differently than most people because I've looked at other YouTube videos and you always see like people moving their hair and it's like, great, I have no idea what you're doing. And I've noticed when a lot of people ask me, how I braid my own hair, they always make some comment of like, how do you turn your hands like that? I can't even figure it out. So I'm going to show you what I do with my hands, what I do with my fingers and how I move the hair. And I'm going to start by actually just showing you the hand motions, what I do, how I move the hair between my hands without any hair. And then after that, I will show you how I braid my hair. Okay, so like I said, you're going to hold your hands basically like this. They'll change positions because you'll be passing the hair back and forth. But this is kind of like your default position. So you'll have a strand of hair here, a strand of hair here, and a strand of hair up here. So to start off with, you're going to take, after you part your hair into 3 strands, you're going to hold the far left strand down here in your little fingers. You're going to hold the middle strand here between your first finger and thumb. Then you'll take the far right strand over between your little fingers on this side. And this finger's just going to hang out for a second. Alright, so as you start braiding, your first time that you change the hair, you're going to take your right strand and bring it over and put it up there in that top finger. And then you're going to grab the middle strand, put it over here in the little fingers on this hand. You're going to let this, what was your working strand, it's not anymore. You're just going to take that between your first finger and thumb. Now this hand, this far left strand, is your new working strand, and you're going to bring that on top and just hold it there with this finger. Okay, that's your second time. This third time, we're going to do something slightly different. So this middle strand here, we're going to come in and take it with those 2 little fingers. We're going to take that top strand, your former working strand, there with your first finger and thumb. And then here's where it starts to get different. So these 2 little fingers, we're going to bring our working strand across. And instead of immediately changing like we did last time, we're going to come over to the side of your head, and you're just going to bring up a small section of hair. I'll show you that from the front in a minute. And you can use your finger to part your hair, or you can use a comb. You're just going to bring that new strand of hair up and combine it with this middle finger strand. And this is somewhat different than what most people do. Most people will drop that working strand, but I like holding on to it because, for a couple reasons. Mostly it helps you keep the braid clean, but it also gives you more control, so you can determine how tight it is, what direction it goes in, little things like that. So you have more control by holding on to that middle strand and not dropping it, so don't drop it. Alright, so now we're going to go back and change the hair back to our right hand. We're going to grab that middle strand with little fingers. We're going to take what was the working strand and put it between our first finger and thumb. And then we're going to bring up our new working strand that's in this hand and put it up there on top with this finger. And then this hand, we can go and grab a new strand of hair to add it in. Another reason you can hold on to this strand of hair that helps is that now that this hand is free and you know where all your strands are, you can take a second and shake this hand out because it's going to get sore. You can go get a drink of water, stop and answer the phone, whatever you need to do, because you have a hand that's free and all of your strands of hair are right here where you'll know where they are and where you can't lose them. Okay, so just now continuing the braid down your back, you're just going to grab that middle strand, top strand, and then bring the working strand over and add a new piece of hair to that strand. Middle strand, top strand, bring the far strand over, add a new piece of hair to it.
Okay, so to start with, you're going to want to brush your hair out really thoroughly. Nope. I did brush my hair once already today. You're just going to put it all behind your shoulders. And you're going to take a section at the front of your head. And with how my head is shaped, I like just going from these 2 little dips right here, straight across, and pulling out a section like that. So just a small section, and I'll comb it through a couple times to make it go smooth. And then you'll just take your fingers and separate it into 3 sections. Here, 1, 2, 3 sections. Okay, and like I said, you'll have this far left section in those 2 little fingers. your middle section will be between your first finger and thumb, and then your working strand, you're going to start out with it in this hand, and then bring it across and hold it with that middle finger on top. Okay? And then to move your hair across, you're going to grab this middle strand and put it between those little two fingers. This top strand that's under your middle finger, you're going to put it between your first finger and thumb. And then your far left strand, you're going to bring it top and grab it with that middle finger. Okay? And then we're going to do that same thing again. We're going to take that middle strand and grab it with our two little fingers. The top strand we're going to grab with the first finger and thumb. And we're going to bring a new working strand across and put it on top there, like that. And this time through, gotta get this hair off from behind my ear, you're going to add to this top strand. I'm just gonna use my finger to part out a section like that, bring it up, and hold it. I have really long hair. If your hair is shorter, it might look slightly different as you're doing this, but the process is the same. And then just to smooth this out, I'll just grab that section and run my fingers through it a few times. And still, like I said, holding on to that working strand. Okay? So now that we've done that, we're going to, again, take this strand that's in our between our first finger and thumb. You're going to grab it and put it under your two little fingers. That top strand that we were working with, you're going to take it between your first finger and thumb. Hold that there. And bring your new working strand across on top. And then we're going to come over here and just use our finger to part out a new section and combine it with that strand. Run my fingers through it a couple times. That time I actually went straight the first time. Okay? And then again, that first finger and thumb, you're going to put it between your two little fingers. That top strand goes between your first finger and thumb. And then this far strand, you're going to grab it with your middle finger and hold it on top there. Grab a new section with your finger over here and pull it over. And then, like I said, just use your fingers to straighten it, or if you want to use a comb. I don't have a comb with me. I left it upstairs. So then you'll just grab that strand with that middle strand with your little fingers again. What was your working strand with your first finger and thumb, and your new working strand you bring over on top. Just part out a new line with your finger and join it into that top strand. Smooth it out, and you just go back again. Okay? I'm sorry, I told you to not show you how to do that time. Part a new strand and pull it up. Okay? So, grab it with your little fingers. Middle strand goes between your first finger and thumb, and your working strand comes up here on top. You're going to use your finger to grab some more hair and just add it into that working strand. And then smooth it out with your fingers or a comb. Same thing. The first strand goes between your little fingers. The middle one goes between your first finger and thumb. And then that far strand comes on top as your new working strand. Then you're going to grab a new strand of hair, bring it up, and add it in to that working strand. And smooth out the side there. Okay. So that strand that's still between your first finger and thumb, you're going to grab that, put it between your little two fingers. Your top strand goes between your first finger and thumb. And the new working strand comes on top there. And you add a new strand of hair. And that's why you have to brush your hair out first. my hair is long enough that I'll get about this far in the braid. And I'll have to grab my hairbrush again. And this is one of those reasons that I hold on to all 3 strands, because my hair is long enough that as I'm braiding the top, the ends will kind of tangle together. And so I'll have to come along and brush it out. And if you drop that top strand, that working strand, then you'll go back and be like, oh shoot, I don't know where my strand is. So, smoothing out that strand we were just using. Okay, and we continue. That middle strand, you grab it and put it between your little fingers. That new middle strand goes between your first finger and thumb, and your new working strand will come up on top here. And then you grab a new strand, just draw a line up with your finger, and add it in. And this is where I have to brush my hair every single time I add it, because it just sticks together because my hair is thick. If you have thinner hair, you might not have the same problem. If you have shorter hair, you almost certainly won't have this problem. Okay, and then I'm going to try turning around so you can see this from the back side. And then you've reached the bottom of your head, but you're going to keep doing the same motion a couple times, just not adding strands this time, for about as far as you can reach. Then you're going to put your hair in one hand and bring it around. And so I've got my 3 strands, and because of how I was holding it, I know that this is my far left strand. This is my last working strand up here, and then over here is my middle strand. So now I'm going to take this hand and I'm going to just transfer the strands from the same fingers over to my right hand. And I did not move my hair at all, I just transferred it from one hand to the other. And then I'm going to take this hand and just start braiding again in the same method. You're going to grab that first strand with your 2 little fingers, that middle strand between your first finger and thumb, and then your working strand you're just going to bring over and put on top between your middle finger, just like before. And that first strand goes between your little fingers, the top strand goes between your middle finger and thumb, and then that far strand just goes under that middle finger on top. And you're just going to keep doing that down whatever's left of your hair. Okay, so I have my elastic that I forgot to grab. I'm going to guess most of you know how to do this part, but just in case you don't, in case you've never put an elastic at the end of a braid before, I will show you. So, you're just going to hold the end of your braid, hold your elastic between your fingers, put it around, twist it, put it back around, twist it again, and just make sure you twist it every time you send it back the other direction. Okay, and there is your braid.